So gold updated a new high, and the rally has been consistent. And one of the key things we want to point out here is the beginning of the rally in October 2024. And we had a massive sell off after price updating a new high. And that sell off and its buyback remains a significant point in the price action of SAU over the course of the month. Now, we can see that this was the last updated high 2789.41, and on technical price came broke that structure and printed a new high. And coincidentally, when price came to that roof, it instead of going on a horizontal supply roof, it went inclined. That's how diabolical good can be sometimes. So we have a break of structure, a descending trend line break of structure. It didn't come as straight. So we take note of that shift in resistance structure and the break of a resistance structure married by a retest and a continuous upswing to the structure. So now the next thing we want to see is that we've got a structure now and we know the distance of travel of the markets after price updating here as our supply roof, and here another supply roof, break of a supply roof, and this is a retest and price is gone up. So in the future, we expect price to return here for potential retest and a possible upswing if we manage to break out of the demand floor. Now, the most important thing is to see that a critical demand floor is where price is sitting on. And on that note, buying will continue to tamper on this floor. A previous supply roof broken becomes a demand floor. So on technical, we expect that price will continue to oscillate in this manner. So the most important thing is to take note of the pattern, the buying pattern and the selling pattern, and price now rest on this structure. So this becomes your new demand floor. And if we clone the structure, we'll see that we have a significant resistance on this roof. And that's exactly where selling has come 2,876 into 2,875. And we are hoping that that structure will be sustained. A break above that structure will ultimately expose the price of gold into a higher sell zone, where we also point out those likely areas of sell where we could likely see a sweep of liquidity. So we also look at the structure and see what she does at that level. So the next last area we'll have before we recalibrate our chart is going to be on the roof, and I will also change the color. And by 2 o'clock, we're having a very strong fundamental data point coming in from US, and that could technically affect the direction of the yellow metal. However, the, there continue to be a surge in the demand for the yellow metal, and we don't know where this will take to, but there's a very high probability that a push away from this will ultimately push price into 2,900. So gold is about maybe 300 pips away from where it is to head into 2,900, and most likely that is where I rest my ultimate sell roof. So my ultimate sell roof will be at 2,900. We're expecting price at that roof if 2,800 and 876 into 75 fails to hold. In fact, the sale started from 68, and I believe in a few minutes from now, the data print will be out, and that will along way determine what next will happen in the market. So on technical, we know that the price has fulfilled this range. So this range has already been fulfilled as we see price within this zone. When price return here, higher high, higher low, higher high, breakout of structure, price return back and created a new high, and then before ultimate break of structure, and the price broke away from the structure completely and return back to respect it. A broken supply roof become a broken demand floor becomes a supply roof, and after which buying have returned back to break the supply roof to return back to respect the another supply roof where we already reacted, and it's expected that price to return back. It is expected that we should have a bounce back from a 76, 75 level. Now, a bounce back from that level after price play within the range, a return into this area will ultimately push price back into 2,900, 2,910, and this will expose us into 2,950 and above, where we look to see if the yellow metal could tap into 3,000 mark. And whatever puts price into 3,000 mark, we technically hold on there, and I believe institutions will not let price slide at this level. So this is what we see technically. And on the flip side, what we want to see is if price fails to sustain price on the demand floor, then on technical we could be coming to this zone. So we hope that price will be sustained at that level. But if it fails, then this becomes your next demand floor. And before we get to this zone, there are certain parameters that must be in place. And one of such parameters is to see that price breaks away from this demand floor. A break away from this demand floor will ultimately expose price. So where we see, let's extend it. So this is the level. So if price breaks away from this structure, then most likely we are coming down. So a break away from this structure will ultimately send price down here, where we'll have here as another buy opportunity. So that's what we see for SA USD. And on technical, we're expecting a very strong fundamental data print, which could technically affect the greenback and also set up either a buy or sell. But at the moment, the market is overpriced, the market is overbought, and on technical, correction is looming. So don't be caught by one candle rule.